Mr. Schneider, looking back at October, the last month, what does the DBIX tell us about the performance of the world economy?
The DBIX overall moved sideways at a level of minus 0.1. There were some small changes, slightly better data in the US and in China. On the other hand, worse data in Japan and Germany. But overall, the level is probably in line with the forecast of global economic growth of around 3%, which is our forecast of Deutsche Bank, but also of major institutions like the OECD or the IMF.
So the situation in Europe and in Japan is still not as good as it could be, especially in Europe. Greece, there's still a huge crisis. Isn't it time for another debt cut?
I mean, it's pending to a certain extent, but the politicians are playing for time, always saying, okay, we first have to hear the Troika report, but by now we have the new forecasts with regard to the economic development, and the Greek government itself and the EU Commission don't expect Greece really to post some positive GDP numbers before 2014.
So a debt cut is a must.
At the end, the debt level will go probably towards 190 at least. Currently, the proposals are further reductions in interest rates they have to pay on their loans, further extensions. There are some profits at the ECB which might be redistributed. But at the end of the day, I think it's pointing in this direction.
So that there's no real alternative to another debt cut. And let's talk about the US. In our last question, elections, Barack Obama will do it the next 4 years. What do you expect? What effects do you expect from him and for the world economy?
Yeah, it's 4 more years and the best is yet to come. However, I think what is to come in a very short...
What he said, yeah.
That's what he says. But in the very short run, obviously, the fiscal cliff is looming very, very large. And there the situation has not changed. We have seen some kind of signals for compromise from both sides, from Boehner, the Republican speaker, and Obama himself. And there are some proposals on the table from some committees which were basically drafted in 2010. So that might be a basis. But at the end of the day, it's still a tough call, whether the fiscal cliff can be avoided. And I think what one has to assume at least is that the uncertainty will weigh on activity and confidence in the next few months.
About the fiscal cliff and the effects of another 4 years Obama on the world economy, Europe's economy, Asian economy, we'll talk about that in our focus talk of the month. And we can see this talk of the month at www.dw.de/English/Made in Germany. Thank you.